Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this?
As you can see, the clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar.
Fat?
Well, Miss May?
What a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright.
He knew the clock was empty. Somehow, he knew.
I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed?
Yeah.
Oh, impossible, of course.
I have proof.
What?
Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed is
The cell phone conversation. Double check that. When did she say she took it out? Yeah, she had to take fun. Yeah. So it had already been taken out by 9 a.m. that morning. Up, up, up. That.
take a look at this.
That's a very cute cell phone.
Oh, you have a girly phone.
Wait. This isn't my phone. Listen.
This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording.
A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder.
Order.
Defendant's cell phone brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it? Oh, Detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. Gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation.
You just want me to hold on to the thinker for you, then? If you could. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now.
Huh? It's not working?
That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry.
September 5, 9:27 a.m.
Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel.
Ma?
Well, Ms. May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know the weapon was a clock?
Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What star was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot.
Well, the witness had seen it before. That would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? Yes. There, it made it.
The witness claims she had seen it before. But this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court.
Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness had not seen the clock before.
Made by Larry Butts. It's simple. This clock was never in any store, ever.
What?
A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world. And the one that isn't here is in police custody.
Impossible. Everything is sold in stores.
Ms. May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse.
Uh,
Oh, excuses not on sale today?
Oh. What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die!
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm.
Oh. Silly me. Did I laugh, Lucy? I guess I did.
Barry. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior?
Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Ms. April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because you had bark. I can't prove that she held it, but I do know she's probably heard about it. That doesn't make it better, but it's bark. Actually, do I know that she would have held it? Look at this plan, too. You can't see much of what happened through the window. Not that we're come to that point yet. Okay, anyway, okay. I want to say it, but it's true. I don't want to say it. I don't know. The witness had never held a clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known that the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving that the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. Oh, yeah! The wiretap on Mia's phone. Now look at this. Ah! Oh, that! I found this in Ms. May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Ms. April May? You were tapping the victim, Ms. Mia Fay's phone, were you not?
Your Honor, this is irrelevant. Not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone?
Absolutely.
Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone?
Yes.
Can you prove that? I think not.
So I can prove it because it's in the call log, but we already determined that they said this before she checked into the hotel. So yeah, I think I can. It's simple.
What?
Here's my proof. Proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon is a clock is this here. It's right on it. The clock. Made to look like a statue of the thinker. Yada yada yada. Yes. I present the defendant's cell phone.
Yes, we've seen that.
Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim.
Yeah. What's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to for. Again? What's it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like that statue, the thinker. And it tells you the time.
Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong?
Objection!
Your Honor, this is ridiculous.
Your Honor, look at the witness' face. Does she seem amused to you? The defendant demands it. The defense demands an answer.
Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May?
Shut up, all of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer! It's no fair, all of you ganging up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it? That did it. The court's seen the real Ms. April May now. Now to deal a final blow. I don't think she did. Why the wiretap? Yeah, explain why you're wiretapping. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't tippity-tapping irrelevant? Tap. She's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Ms. May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant.
While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Ms. May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone?
I'd like to see her pull that off.
Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you?
Damn, she's good.
Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. And of course, I can and will.
Can't be serious. No way.
Way, I say. Way. Oh, and I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 o'clock at night? Well, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy.
Room service?
Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee? You know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts, and then you have regular cold coffee.
Iced coffee.
Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy.
Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder. So, where does that leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder.
Oh, they're just going to let her just walk away. There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow.
Well, does the defense have anything to say?
Well... Come on, think of something. Well, the bellboy's a witness. I wanna continue examining Miss May before we do this shenanigans, maybe? I don't know. Right, on with the cross-examination.
What exactly do you have left to examine, Mr. Wright? Miss April May has admitted the wiretap, yes, but that bears no relevance to the case at hand, murder. There's no way you can prove any connection.
Uh-oh, this can't be the end, but I'm out of evidence.
Then I believe the cross-examination is over. Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have any other witnesses to call? None, Your Honor. She's the last.
What? But that means... I is guilty. Oh. Wait, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
The defense would like to call the bellboy after all.
As I thought. May I remind you, dear Mr. Wright, should you question the bellboy, and Miss April May's alibi prove to be solid, then by default your client, Ms. Maya Fey, will be pronounced guilty. Are you prepared to accept my condition?
He's got me backed into a corner. But I don't see any other way to take this. I accept.
Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. Maze room service. I'm the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 o'clock on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. Really? And I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May, herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Right, I'm ready. I hope. So, you were there at 9, when the thing was happening, and distracting her, whatever. It. I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now. Maya will be finished.
Okay, so, at 9 o'clock, on the dot, sir. Brought it to her precisely the requested time, of course. And that was... the time. Yeah. I'm gonna press him on that. Precisely 9 o'clock, then. Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. 9 p.m.
How can you be so sure?
Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought there. Oh, bellboy, tee, I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9 o'clock. Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9 o'clock, sir.
Why would she be so particular about the time?
Yeah. Okay, so this is where we put in this, because that is the time that she was killed.
This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor.
How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related? They aren't, are they? Oh, it doesn't have the time on it anymore. Not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations.
No! Don't like it.
Okay, do I actually have anything showing the time? I don't. Okay. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Bellboy wouldn't have any reason to lie. I have to find something to use in his testimony. One more time, I'll press him until he spills the beans, or his tea. Okay. Oh, that's seriously crime, okay. You deliver the ice coffee against May herself. Hold on, so you did talk to her. You are sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with an embrasser, sir.
Embrasser? Is that French for embrace?
It's French for kiss, sir, but not a French kiss, more of a peck on the cheek.
would she have done that?
I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never, ever forget, sir.
That's pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something and wanted the bellboy to remember her. No good. There's nothing there. Is that it?
Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand.
Can't let this happen, can I? Test! Wait. Please, wait.
Yes? Does the defense have something to add?
One last question. Let me ask one last question.
Objection!
Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. All right, Mr. Wright, I'll give you one more question. That's all.
Okay. This really is now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about?
Checking room service bed making? What the hell? What do I know about any of these things? What do we know about any of these things? What do I know about any of these things? I mean, I need to ask him about the room service.
Tell me again about room service.
Again, sir. At exactly 9 o'clock, I delivered room service to Ms. May in room 303. The guest had requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall.
Let's see.
Hmm?
$18? Doesn't that seem a bit expensive?
Yes, well, iced coffee for two, you know. And we don't skimp on the ice, sir.
What did he say? What did you say?
Rather, quite.
Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room?
Objection!
I object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see.
Why did you not mention this in your testimony?
Well, sir, you didn't ask.
Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention.
Yes, quite, indeed. It was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir.
You fool!
Done it.
I've won.
Don't think so.
Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Then, when you brought the room service, you didn't see that man in the room?
That's right, sir.
Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth?
And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person?
Simple. It was...
Okay, if you're gonna be like, bark, bark, bark!
Okay, so obviously it wasn't Miss April May because we already know him.
It wasn't the bellboy. Was it the bellboy?
I mean,
She did, give him that kiss in French. But, Alright, the man with Ms. May, whatever, whoever it was. The man who checked in with Ms. May. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone. Yet Ms. May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup. Too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Oof. Upstart. Amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough. The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes. Yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned. September 7, 2:24 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there.
Really?
I think I might be your newest fan.
Oh, I was just doing my job, you know.
Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool, too.
Uh-huh.
That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips, it sent shivers up my spine.
If you say so.
So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now?
Well... No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Oh, I see.
But I got a great lead in Faye's trial.
A lead?
That man with Miss May, he's the key.
Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that, anyway?
I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at a detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find out more about this man.
You think he was the one who...
Maybe so.
Sis,
Don't worry, I'll find him by tomorrow, I promise.
I'm counting on you.
Whew. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. Victim dodged an attack and run to the right. He was caught. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. To be continued. Bark. Saving. Okay. And to save is where we're going to stop for today. Because we are a little over time. Maybe a lot over time. It doesn't matter. Alright, we'll be back with more of this. This on Thursday, and another stream with Disgaea tomorrow, Tuesday. I want to thank y'all for spending time with me today. I hope and y'all have a great day out there.